to the Chopstick Studio.
You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to actually shut the door to the studio.
Okay. We can cut some of the noise. So while Steve's gone, let's talk about Steve for a little bit now. Only for a little bit. So
I'm back.
We just had a great day. We did some filming, ate some sushi, and now we're ready to talk a little photo news. So we've turned a lot of the lights off in the studio. This is just a casual time of just us conversing with you, our audience.
Absolutely.
But why you talk now, why you close the door.
Right.
Now I'm going to find the link here.
Hey, you got the volume going, so we're going to get double.
Yeah, there we go.
But anywho, so what the title of this live talked about was, is the new Nik Software update worth it? So
yeah, if you don't know, a lot of people, even at our workshops,
but
always go, "Oh, I've never heard of Nik."
So Nik Software has been around for over 10 years,
okay,
and they have a great collection of stuff. Right, they've got Color Effects Pro 4 now,
yep,
which is great. A lot of different filters and stuff. They had Silver Effects, which I think hands down the best silver or black and white processor.
Yes, I love it.
Really, really good. They had a bunch of other analog effects.
The one that I like is analog. And when Google owned it, there was rumors that they were talking about doing away with analog effects.
But before Google owned it, when this was actually true Nik Software, right? Nik Software made a bunch of stuff for Nikon. They made their whole Nikon software package. It
was a German company.
Really great software. I mean, really, really great stuff. So what happened is that they ended up selling it to Google, right? Well, Nik was charging $500 for the software package, which actually, I mean, it was that good, right? And a lot of people bought it. Now what happened is that Google bought it. Google said, we're charging $150, right, for about a year. Great deal. And then they all of a sudden went, it's free. And everybody went, woohoo!
Yeah.
Right? So for the past 4 years, this software package has been totally free. Killer deal. But the problem was Google did nothing with the product.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't update it for 5 years, just kind of went. And so I use it daily, but it was old, right?
There was a sad time. I think at one point we had like a funeral for Nik because we were just like, oh no.
Well, that's when Nik said, or Google said, we're done. We're done. We're not doing anything with it anymore. So that was about a year ago. Well, then DxO, which is the company that makes some pretty cool software. Plus they do all those ratings, right? Actually, it's a separate company from their company that does the ratings.
Yes.
Said they were going to buy it, right? Big party. Everybody was so excited. Yeah, they're going to support it. Then what happened? Like 2 months ago, DxO went into bankruptcy, right? Oh, everybody was mourning it again. So it's been like this up and down cycle. So just yesterday, they announced that they put out their new DxO branded Nik collection.
Yeah. And we knew it was coming.
Yep.
So
I got all excited, right?
You called me up that morning and went, guess what? It's
here. So they offer for $49 right now on an introductory, you can get the whole collection. Well, people went bananas. They're like, $49, I already bought it for $500 12 years ago. Yeah. I've been using it for 12 years.
So we talked about this. You were reading out loud to me earlier, like some of the complaints people had. They hadn't used it yet, but they were already complaining.
They're complaining because they have to pay $50.
We were talking earlier of like someone saying, well, I bought a Honda Accord 10 years ago, and I don't think it's time to upgrade yet. Why do I have to pay for a new car? It doesn't make any sense. Yep. So why should you complain that someone is going to improve a product and you say, I shouldn't? Yep, Robin, you are right. It is a bargain.
Okay, you said, why should someone complain? Well, here is my beef about what happened yesterday. So, like I said, I use Nik all the time.
Are you going to complain?
I am. I'm going to go on a short little rant. Okay. So stick with me on this. So I use Nik all the time. I have a lot of what they call recipes, which are just my version of, some of these collections of filters and stuff. Yeah. Well, some of the recipes were pretty deep. Now, here's the problem. I said, oh, let me try your 30-day trial on the new software, which they offered. So you can do $49, buy it, try it for 30 days. Well, what happened is that when you install this trial, it actually overwrites your current Nik software. Okay?
Yay.
Now, guess what happened?
All my
recipes did not follow
So I wonder if, though, when you actually license it, if they'll come back.
No, they don't, because
no.
Hundreds of people have been writing to them online saying,
"What are my recipes?
I bought it, and guess what? It's gone."
Yeah.
That is a huge, huge, huge problem for me. And here's the big problem. The old versions are gone from my computer because they've been overwritten, which means they've now held me hostage that I have to buy it.
You don't have Nik, and I do.
Well, so, I'm going to buy it, right? For
Nik,
50
we
bucks,
use, both of us use Nik constantly in our workflow.
Yeah.
We kept trying to go like, what can we replace it with? So again, at some point we are going to talk about it. We've been playing around with Luminar. There's some things missing in Luminar, and that's why we haven't really given it a good, like, what do we want to talk? A review of, because it's not fair for us to review something that we don't quite understand all the pieces of it. Hey, from Portsmouth,
it's Andrew. Andrew, I haven't heard from you for a while. So
that's right.
There.
It's probably pretty late there too for you. So we always know we talk late at night with you. And this is why you should always do a system backup before installing any software.
Okay, Mr. Wise Guy. No, that's definitely true. And Robin, you did see the warnings. Now, I signed up for it like the second it came out. I was so excited about it. So all that to say is
you should be on Twitter.
I should be on Twitter.
You should be reading Twitter, and then you wouldn't have the problem.
But is it worth upgrading? I'll tell you my experience just from using it so far. It is a little faster. It now works with every piece of Adobe software out there.
And Albert, you're so right. I would too. That's why. To hold my breath when I update Photoshop of like, is Nik going to work this time? So
no, don't worry. You weren't being a wise guy. It's all, it's all good.
Yeah, no,
so that's exactly right. $50, low price to pay for an incredible suite of software. $50, right?
Exactly. For something that I literally almost wanted to be in tears over 6 months ago because it's that good.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes life easier. Is it stuff that I couldn't do just in Photoshop on my own? Sure, but this stuff does it in a click of the mouse and a few slides of a dial. So.
How many of you guys out there have used Nik or use Nik? I know Robin's a Nik user, but anybody else out there love the Nik? I mean, Color Effects Pro. Here's the two things in the Nik software. I'm going to start to sound like I'm a Nik fanboy, which I kind of am. But like Color Effects Pro.
That's the product I use every day when I'm editing.
It's huge. There's a couple things in there. The Pro Contrast.
You like that. I use it, but that's like your
That's
go-to.
like on every picture I use some Pro Contrast. That and talk about like really good skin softener. Their dynamic skin softener works really well.
Yeah.
And the other one that I use is Darken, Lighten, Center. Luminar.
The route.
Yep.
He went the Luminar route on OS 10.
So I like the Darken, Lighten, Center. The thing that I'm struggling with Luminar, one thing I do like is that like processing pictures, Luminar probably looks better from a raw
color rendition
than anything I've seen so far.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I'll give them that. Workflow wise, doesn't work for me because I'm bringing in 500 pictures at a time to work on.
Exactly.
You're using Bridge. I'm using
Bridge. The same thing as I've not yet found that file structure within Luminar.
Luminar is kind of a one picture at a time deal.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I mean, if you're a true Photoshop guy, not a Bridge guy, but like a Photoshop guy, it's one.
Or if you're a landscape. From what we've been seeing.
Yeah, I like the product. I think it's pretty easy to figure out how to use it. But for my workflow right now,
that's the problem I'm struggling with is how important Bridge is for me, Lightroom is for you, is the cataloging, it's all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Knowing where things are. So
that's kind of a biggie. But that's my little rant about Nik, just the way they handle this. Here's the other thing that people are concerned about. I don't think it's a concern, honestly, but just the whole bankruptcy issue with Nik Software. They are in bankruptcy protection right now. It doesn't mean that they're bankrupt, but they're in bankruptcy protection for a reorgan of the whole company. So they promise it will not affect the software, won't affect future updates, and they're going to come out of bankruptcy probably in the next month, actually. So they'll be back to normal, but.
Yeah, and the fact that if people start purchasing this, it makes that company stronger. We could probably see some updates. And, the one that a lot of even Nik users that I talk to, I have actually talked to people that have owned the entire suite for like 8 years.
Yep.
And I'll talk to them about Analog Pro, and they'll go, Analog what?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites to play with.
No, that's really cool.
And if you look at it, here's where I just saw a photographer I really liked that was using it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what he would do is go in and turn off parts of it. You know, a lot of times we use things like Analog, and you'll instantly look at it and go, oh, that looks like, I don't like all the dirt and scratches. Well, guess what? You click the dirt and scratches off, and suddenly you go, wow, that's a great.
Yeah.
I've been playing around a lot with it. I really like it. So Luminar's been promising a catalog feature, but they've not seen it for 2 years. Yeah, and you know what? Luminar, I believe, is on the rise, Derek. And where's that deck? Deck. There it is. Deck look. So yeah, I think that it's something that's going to be coming soon for those guys. They are pushing hard. So.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Why is it I only have one chopstick and you have the other one?
Here's the other one, because I dropped the other ones. I think you took them.
I did.
See,
these are the noisy ones. I didn't want you clanking so much. So.
And I do. I use Nick to edit the photos.
So yeah, so that's kind of our little doohickey about Nick. I think.
Yeah, he used Nick Andrew Hulson. He just posted on our private Facebook group. You guys can join that. It's just look up Panoptic Chopstick Workshops. And he posted a cool picture the other day of a guy in a seagull and black and white. And so
I do remember that.
And so yeah. Anyways,
so what do you got?
So the next thing is, we're Nikon shooters. I also shoot Sony. You shoot Fuji. But big news this week has been Canon. Canon finally came out with something new. But my question really is it new?
That is a good question.
Yeah,
what is it? Maybe you can tell them what it is.
No, we're just going to let you guess what it is. Now, they just came out with 2 new 70 to 200s.
Oh, yeah.
They have the 70 to 200 2.8 version 3, and now they have a F4 version of that they added image stabilization to. So image stabilization, the image, this is one good thing I know that they put into it. 3.5 times or stops of, we were talking about this, stabilization for your shutter speed. So like if you could hold that thing normally at 100, 1/100th of a second, that means like for like a 20th of a second, you should be able to hand hold and get a sharp image. Maybe, but that's a long lens to do that. But just, those are the kind of things you got to think about.
That 2.8, like the version 2 is what, 8 years old? Right now?
It is 8 years old, but even when it came out, there was not much of a change.
So
it's close to a 10-year-old lens.
So this is an upgrade from a 10-year-old lens.
It really is.
Like, what do they add?
I heard someone today say they changed the color from off-white to really white. So if you like really white lenses,
that's the thing I think most Canon users have been looking for, and probably the biggest complaint say, the color white just does not match my teeth.
Yeah, and I need whiter whites.
I need whiter whites and brighter whites.
No, but they actually added
is that serious though?
Yeah, and they added like a fluoride coating.
So
their teeth are whiter, as you're talking about white. No,
that's for the anti.
It keeps from getting fingerprints and things on there. It's just a better glass. So if you're looking to get a 70 to 200, it's a good time to get it with a brand new thing, the new elements.
So with that, do you think it's worth upgrading? Like if you had a version 2, which by the way, I start with that. Yeah. Right, that is a stellar.
Yeah,
that's probably one of Canon's best lenses.
And here's the exciting part is, if you're a Nikon shooter and you want to buy the Nikon equivalent in their brand, you're going to pay $700 to $800 more.
Yeah, that's what It's $2,800.
Yeah, basically, and this is $2,000. If you buy the version 2, that's been out forever. That's like $1,800, so almost $1,000 cheaper. And that's probably has been a better lens.
So if I was a Canon guy and I was buying a 7200 the first time, I would definitely get that new 3
with all confidence. Yeah,
for $200.
But if I had a 2, I don't see any reason to upgrade.
Not unless I had a problem.
I'm really cheap though. But no, I don't see that there's that much. And we're not beholden to any camera manufacturer.
No.
I am a huge fan of the Tamron 7200.
The G.
Yes, the newer one. And you just upgraded some glass to Tamron this week.
I got a 24 to 70 Tamron. So my Nikon trusty loved my 24 to 70 from Nikon.
The workhorse.
It was the non-VR version. It was an older version, but that thing was so good. so good. But
Vanessa.
one too many times of it tipping over, falling on the ground.
It just doesn't like to drop on the ground.
It just doesn't like. I mean, you know, I
think your blades are bad. It has that grinding noise when you turn it.
I think we're kind of hard on our equipment. I don't think we're not hard, but we use our equipment a lot, and we don't baby it. Like we travel, it gets banged around. Well, we're not scared to climb on things and climb under things. And
if you've ever seen an exploded view of a lens, there's literally like 10,000 parts in there, and we sit there and complain about it, like how finely tuned every bit of that lens is. It is a fine-tuned piece of equipment that we drop and get wet.
So I got that new Tamron, right? And I was really excited because everything I read about it was great. We actually borrowed one from Tamron in Las Vegas at WPPI to do our presentation at the interview.
And it felt good.
It felt great, and it was really a great lens. So I put it on my 810. Like, ooh, this isn't so sharp.
Yeah, you called me up right away and was like, oh, I just got this lens, and it's just.
It's like, oh, did I get a bad copy? So, you know, you can do one of two things. You can micro adjust it within the camera, which I did, and I actually had to do a pretty good adjustment on it. I mean, it went pretty far on the. It was almost. A lot of
people don't do that. They have no clue that their cameras
they didn't know they
can be adjusted.
Yeah. And you can adjust them, per lens, right?
Yeah.
So
you put like 8 lenses in your camera.
Yeah. So I did that, and you know what? It's now sushi knife sharp. So it's really good.
Yeah.
They also sell this little dock, and Sigma does the same thing too. It's a little
one for my
a little dock you can put the lens connected to it and connects to your computer, and it will
calibrate it
in all kinds of ways. But I haven't done that yet because this one is actually cost money to buy that.
I wonder if any of you, do you guys use any calibration equipment? You know, I know they have, and I actually have one where your camera mounts to and shoots the target. But oh my goodness, I'm not patient enough to do all of that. But,
so Tamron, you're right, man. They are putting some big time pressure on these manufacturers. In fact, our whole show, usually when we're in here in the studio, right now I'm filming this through our laptop for YouTube Live, but anytime we're filming in studio, we're using a Tamron 35 millimeter lens, 35 1.8. That lens.
Yeah, and we did a vlog about 2 months ago where we went to like 6 different camera stores in Northern California. Well, I'll tell you, every single store had great things to say about Tamron.
6-year
about
warranty.
The company.
6-year
the
warranty.
Longest warranty. They were like, I can call Tamron and go, my customer has a problem with this, and they were like, let's replace it. I mean, they were just like, Tamron just bends over backwards to help people.
I was actually really pleasantly surprised at how positive they were.
Yeah.
There were a few companies that weren't as positive about, but Tamron was one of those that.
And at WPPI, we had a great warm fuzzy experience with them borrowing lenses for our show presentation at WPPI.
We asked them. So, but going back to the Canon lens.
Oh, so Tamron.
Okay.
We would gladly be sponsored by you, and no.
In fact, it'd be very very helpful for some of the stuff that we're going to be doing shortly. To have you.
They repaired a macro lens after 5 years and 11 months of use.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, now that to me is just great.
Yeah. They just know the value of customer service. So what an important thing. So yeah. So there's 2 new lenses. They're great lenses. I love the fact that they're getting something better. The F4 lens has stabilization now. So
like 5 stops of stabilization.
Is it up to 5 stops? Okay. And it's at like $1,200.
It's a good deal.
So if you want to get into a 70 to 200, here's the thing: is everybody thinks 2.8 is the bomb, diddly, but f4, I think you can pretty much on a 200 millimeter lens still get that beautiful creamy bokeh that you're looking for, Or if you're a landscape shooter, then man, there's no reason for you to get the 2.8. Get the f4. It's probably
is there no
might
reason?
Be a little sharper.
Is there no reason to get the 2.8?
Is there no reason?
You said there's no reason to get the 2.8.
No, I said if you're a landscape guy.
But still.
Yeah, if you're a landscape guy.
Still.
Yeah, if you're a landscape turn yours down.
Sorry.
I don't see why shooting landscapes you need 2.8.
As the guy that has a Sigma 85 1.4 mounted to his camera 99.9% of the time, I'm like,
that's because I'm trying to get an individual leaf in focus. I want it to be perfect. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, more local news now.
Okay.
I think
in the local news.
In the local news.
Are you done?
I'm done. I'm just really done. I'm really tired.
2 sushi rolls.
It's warm. It's summertime. We're excited though. So let's talk before we get into local news.
Okay.
How about maybe can we tease?
Wait a second. I want to respond to Albert real quick.
Okay. What's Albert saying?
So Albert's talking about new glass is so expensive. I agree with you.
Yes.
Great example is what I just did, right? I bought this Tamron. It was $11.99, right? The Nikon equivalent, $2,400. Boom, $1,300 savings. You know what I can do with $1,300? I can eat a lot of sushi. But that to me, it's like when we did that bargain lens show, it's
that 85-1.8 that you have is an incredible lens.
So
incredible
guys,
lens.
check out go back in the archives of our YouTube shows. We did one about bargain lenses, and it was a great show.
Yeah, and again, I still shoot with an 80-200.
You do,
and I'm sitting here talking about Canon's third version. You know, Nikon has 2 versions above.
Yours is made out of stone.
That is,
it's about that heavy too.
No, it was the last year they made that lens, and you know, I have not yet seen. I know that the new ones are better, but how much better?
Well, and Albert says, "What about Sony prices?"
Yeah,
they're crazy.
I had a friend just text me last night going, "I want to get the A7 III."
But the Sony lenses, like, why are they so expensive?
Yeah,
like Nikon's expensive.
I think it's only because they've had to hurry them to the market, and everything has to be new because you can't just take an existing mount, and they're having to create it right from the ground up because they're. A little documentary on Nikon's lenses that it takes up to 2 years.
I did see
to make it, and it's not that it takes them 2 years to make a lens, but blank
cure the glass
to get the blank ready to go. You know, that can be used on all different types of lenses takes forever. Yes.
Someone named Vanessa wants to know about Canon prices.
Oh, don't even listen. You don't have a Canon, Vanessa. It's all Nikon at our house.
That happens to be his wife. So.
Yes. We are a Nikon house. We don't talk about Canon.
You would happily be a Canon house if the opportunity arose. Canon, if you're listening.
Okay, here is something that
I
do want to say that Canon has done right with them. Here's the reason you want to go to the new Canon lens. Yes, if you had the version 2, go to the version 3. It just hit me why. They switched the focus and the...
No, they actually didn't. That was a rumor.
That was just a rumor? Oh, okay, don't do it.
Hey, Chris just bought the ugly Tamron that you showed in our budget lens thing for $99.
Isn't it a great lens?
What a bargain for a used lens.
I still use that lens all the time. I love that lens.
$99.
Yeah. And speaking about that lens, that's the lens that took me around the world. That's the lens that took me to India.
Oh, hello.
India. And should we announce it now? Not at all. We shouldn't tell them that we're going back to India. Okay, we're not telling you that, so don't be looking for announcements from us. Soon we'll be talking about a big announcement for the Chopstick guys.
I wonder what it will be.
I don't know. They have no clue.
I know your parents never talked about Christmas presents when you were around.
Never.
You could keep say sushi. That's right, Andrew.
We said sushi today. So we went to a different sushi place today.
So we love trying different sushi places. Yeah. We're pretty loyal to our friend Sonny there at Umi, but we always, like today we were kind of in a rush. We want to get right back to the studio. And so we've got this place near the studio here that sells, it's a bargain sushi place, kind of like our bargain lunch show. Yeah. But every roll is 50% off all the time.
2 days old.
But today was extra good.
It was super good.
I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
So anyways, digressing.
You guys did really good. So anyways. Local news. So this weekend, if you're in Northern California, we still have spots. We have our fashion splash.
Now, this is actually an announcement that you can announce.
It is.
Here.
Go ahead. So we used to call it a trash the dress, but we've kind of gotten away from the idea of with the wedding dress in the water. We still do it, and we'll have some wedding dresses there, but it's kind of an idea that has been done to death. Almost to death. So we've really been just moving it towards just, glamour and fashion in the water and just playing with that idea. It was going to be, it's very family friendly, but it was going to be in a specific location, and it's still announced as that. We will be changing all that information today. It will be moved to a private pond, and for a number of reasons. We have better backgrounds, more controllable things happening at this pond. But I went out yesterday to look at the location, and I've done trash the dresses there like 6 or 7 different times. This year, because of the late rains, they are really dumping a lot of water down right now. And so the water was high. All the banks that we normally stand on to shoot, they were all like water right up to it and right up to the trees. So we were going to struggle. We would have got something, but not something as great as we're going to get. So we will announce where that is. But
so here's the big pluses of the pond. One, the water is going to be warmer because they're letting all this water right out of the mountains coming down the river we're going to use, right? It's not running fast. We have places for the models to change. I mean, it's just like it's going to be such a great day.
Yeah.
Like if you were anywhere in Northern California, meaning Bay Area, Oregon border, if you're even in the Oregon border, drive down.
It's worth coming down.
It's worth coming. In this workshop that we're doing, I don't even want to call it a workshop. It's going to be a day of fun splashing in the water.
So starting at about 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We'll go till dark. Yeah, we say 8, but I'm sure we'll be there till sunset. A lot of you are going to go home at 8 o'clock because you're going to be tired, and we're going to say bye-bye, and we're going to keep shooting until the sun goes down, and we're going to get some awesome photos. So I've always used to tell people, pace yourself at a workshop because you're not going to want to miss when it's over.
So I was going to say, like, this is not one of our teaching workshops. We're still going to do a little bit of lesson teaching, but this one is really about having fun in the water. If you are planning on coming out, know that you will be getting in the water.
We have a lot of models.
We have a ton of models. Vanessa says you don't want to miss this. Vanessa's been to a ton of these too.
Yeah.
She knows that it's a blast.
Her wedding dress has been used about 20 different times.
She's been trashed a lot of times. But yeah, how many models do you think we have?
It's kind of really hard to say right now. It looks like we have about close to a dozen. So
you guys
of all kinds of, I mean, we're just gonna have all kinds of different stuff. It's gonna be really neat. You wish you could come? Yeah, I know.
Andrew,
you need to save up for 2 years at least. Yeah, hey, we feel your pain, man.
Andrew, why don't you find a group of people over there that can all pitch in, fly the chopstick guys over there, and we'll do a custom workshop for you.
That's right. We'll trash dresses. We'll
trash whatever you want.
Because we want to come to England and
do a little something. We got a friend out there that we love to actually include in some of our workshops.
Yeah, very exciting news too. Yeah, if you're not familiar with Scott Johnson, he's from the Essex area of England, was just announced as a Fuji X Pro. So this guy's a phenomenal wedding photographer.
Plus, he's just a phenomenal guy. That's a nice.
All right, he said. Andrew said that's a challenge.
Okay, Andrew.
Or does he say that's a challenge? Like, I can't do it. That's a challenge. Or are you saying, hey, challenge accepted? That's how I take it. He's accepting the challenge. We expect our tickets any day.
so we got that coming up on Saturday. So Saturday evening. So I was going to say, if you're anywhere near there, check out the site.
Yeah.
Or website, or check out Facebook
too. We did this because we want everybody to come. This is not about us teaching as much as we just providing a great venue, lots of fun. It's like we're going to charge you like to cover our insurance, right?
This thing, $40, right?
Yeah,
for 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours of shooting with incredible models in water.
That's right. You'll learn stuff. You'll have fun. You'll build a portfolio, and you will have a blast. You're right.
Then following week, on Saturday,
the 16th.
Now we go opposite. That one's an evening one. We're switching over.
Let's make it sound bigger than it is. Okay, we are going to be meeting at the World Peace Garden.
Yes, it's the World Peace Rose Garden. In fact, in Sacramento,
at the California State Capitol.
That's right. So we're doing a photo walk, and these are times. Again, this is not a workshop, but it's a time that anybody who has a love for photography or even a like of photography or might think they would like to take pictures, they come out and we walk around downtown.
Yep. And we usually have a model or two with us, and we have some fun and show you how to find backgrounds anywhere.
So we talk a lot about, I don't know if you've heard us talk about these gifts. You can find a gift anywhere, and we'll talk about that some more in a future episode and stuff. But yeah, we go around, we find unique locations that people maybe have walked by hundreds of times, and that's one of my favorite things is these photo walks. They are just so much fun, and we meet some great people.
Yeah, we've met some really wonderful people doing these things.
And we are doing that one in the morning. The reason why we're doing that from 9 to noon is it's hot heat, man. We're here in this Central Valley area, California, and what are you expecting actually up in your area next week?
Well, next year, yeah, like you're supposed to come up on the day. It's going to be 108, and it's like 109 the next day. So you know, this is not Phoenix, Arizona. This is California. It does get hot, and I'm at the top of the valley, so all that heat just rises and gets.
I've really jabbered for 30 minutes.
I know.
Anyways, are you guys still there listening to us after 30 minutes?
Okay, I have a question for you, those that are still on. So there's a few of you still watching. We're working on a project right now. We've got a video that we want to do coming up in a little bit. But one of the questions I have for you is, what YouTubers do you watch? Like your favorite YouTubers? Is there somebody that you really like?
I mean, the obvious answer is the Chopstick.
Exactly. And so you don't have to say that. But, you know, I'll tell you, we were talking today. It changes for me all the time. You know, we've talked about like influential photographers. You know, I love Zach Arias, and we both McNally.
Zach really on YouTube.
It's funny right now. Jason Lanier, yeah, we love Jason. We have a video that'll come out next week where we took I don't want to say a jab at him, because it really wasn't a jab at him. It was just in fun.
Yeah, and he's going to find out.
Exactly. We're going to message him and tell him, but we're kind of just using him as kind of a little punchline of something, him and his fedora, but we really like him. Sean Tucker. Yeah, I like Sean Tucker. One of the guys I really like right now, I was just telling Steve, because it goes in these waves, is Thomas Heaton. You know, I know we're portrait guys, but I really like landscape photography as my own personal getaway. And Thomas Heaton, I just love the stuff he does. I love just kind of the way he does his videos. So Tony Northrup, yeah, Tony Northrup's great, and his wife Chelsea.
Taylor Jackson, I'm not familiar with Taylor.
I'm going to look up Taylor Jackson. Another Sean Tucker. Yeah, another Brit. You're right. So there's some great Brits out there that.
You know who I like, and maybe he's not really he's a fun guy, but Kai
Wong.
Yeah, he used to be, you know, with
Digital Rev,
and then he kind of broke off on his own.
Yeah,
but for entertaining, the guy is really funny, but yet he's really knowledgeable.
He is,
and even when he's saying something goofy, he puts out some interesting stuff.
Yeah, he does.
So I do like him.
Yeah, I like Kai. Oh, my battery's running low on the Surface. It's going to shut itself down.
Okay.
I guess we'll just, anything I have is going to be over there.
Joe Edelman.
Joe Edelman. How could you not mention Joe Edelman? I mean, he's at the top right now of our list.
If you guys don't know of Joe Edelman, when you get off this, look him up, subscribe. The guy is the king of the do-it-yourselfer stuff. But
we go live and ramble. Joe goes live and he changes people's opinions on photography.
He is so good.
Yeah.
And he's one of the new Olympus pros. And you don't hear a lot about Olympus.
Yep. Fro. You just watched Fro today.
Here's the thing.
Well, finish Joe. I'll remind you.
So Joe. So he's one of brand new Olympus pros. The guy is just the real deal. And Olympus, you don't hear a lot about Olympus. I am really impressed with the Olympus stuff. Olympus, if you're listening.
Yeah. And, you know, we've actually had time with ourselves, with Joe.
I just had lunch with Joe a month ago.
And it's the stuff he talks about is real. You know, a lot of people look at YouTube stuff and they go like, oh, he only talks about Olympus because he's getting paid by Olympus. He was not getting paid by Olympus. That guy bought his Olympus camera. He's sponsored by them now. But he bought into Olympus way before he said Olympus. And that's what he was telling us. He's like, this is the things I love about it. And he was excited. So
okay, let me go on Fro for a second.
Okay, go on Fro.
So I was back in Philadelphia a month ago. And that's actually where I had lunch with Joe. Joe was back in Philadelphia. But one of my things was I wanted to have lunch with Fro and just talk with him about some stuff, right? Because I am actually a big Fro fan. There's a lot of people out there that don't like Fro because they think he's arrogant.
It was disappointing at WPPI. Everybody we talked to was like, oh, he's a jerk. Oh, Fro. People that didn't know him.
But you know what? The guy puts out really good content.
Yeah.
And the thing that I give him props about, he is a hard worker.
He's just going to say, I think he's the hardest working photographer on YouTube.
He is. Like, you know, a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to create content, right? Like, we struggle with that. Like, what can we talk about that's new and interesting? That guy creates content every single day, whether you agree with it or not. he is just really, really good for the industry. So
yeah,
that's my little pro.
Yeah, and you know what? He's become he's our news source right now for stuff. It's like that's where you in the morning you go and you check, you know, news sites, and then you go to Fro and you find out what's going on in the world of photography. And
it's gotten to the point where, I mean, he's sent gear from manufacturers to test. He's like on their hotline, you know, okay, this is coming out, that kind of stuff. I do like him.
Yeah. But I've heard the same thing. You know, a lot of people have very strong opinions about the Northrops. I think they're wonderful. I love
I have a question about the Northrops. So yes. who was talking about Northrops? It was Albert. So Albert, you think we talk long today? The Northrop shows.
That's just because they talk slower than us.
Are so long. They're like 90 minutes. Do you actually watch the whole show? I just would be curious to find out. Do you actually?
I like to listen to them.
Okay.
You know, and they really are a podcast. And Serge Ramelli. Hey, that's our friend Jennifer. She really likes Serge. Huh? And she was talking about, and she provided, I think, a bunch of models for him at WPPI.
Yep.
About 10 years ago. I love these are the great. Yeah. It's really funny. The more videos that we make, the more we can really appreciate how good these guys are. And
well, I mean, Joe Edelman's the same way. Yeah, like the guy creates such incredible content.
Because it's hard to shoot and tell people what you're doing at the same time and create an interesting story. I don't know if you guys know this. This is the first time they did it, but yesterday, Jerry Gahonis, he just did a live on YouTube for 2 hours. I sat down and I watched the entire 2 hours of this thing. And it was
you're working yesterday.
I have two screens. This screen had Jerry. This screen had something I was doing. But just that guy is an amazing teacher, you know. And I know he was selling the idea of here's what you'll get if you buy into my program. You know,
it's got like a mentorship type.
Little mentor, and you'll see like 3 or 4 times a week when he's shooting sessions like this. But to watch him shoot and have to explain and worry about, am I standing in the way of the camera? All of those things, he's a master at it. And he's been doing it for a long time. The stuff we struggle with, because you're looking at the chopsticks. It's right here. We have Jack. It's all of the above.
We are our own Sherpas, unless my Sherpa is with me. But for the most part, it's like, you're looking at us.
Most YouTubers are that way.
Andrew is so creative, or so grateful for Creative Live. We are too. In fact, we've gotten to be pretty good friends with John Cornicello.
Yes.
Who was the guy that you see on Creative Live. He's always got the do-rag on
and the big beard.
He's the guy that fixes everything that breaks.
Yeah.
On Creative Live.
Or when somebody goes, I can't figure out how to work this, John pops out of nowhere.
Man, John, we spent a lot of time with him actually in Las Vegas this year.
He has a Facebook group called like the Home Studio with John Cornicello. You need to join it. Yeah, you just tell him you want to join. He'll put you in that group.
So we were walking the halls, and John was actually tagging along with us, which is kind of funny because it's like, no, I think we're tagging along with John, but he was following us behind. Like, can I come with you guys? Okay. So we're walking the halls and stuff. No joke. Like Peter Hurley comes walking by. Who was it else? I mean, Fro. All these different guys are walking by us.
Michael Greco.
Okay.
I mean, just
and
everybody.
They're going, hi, it's John Cornicello. Like, yeah. He's following me. But it's like, that guy, it's not that he knows everybody in the industry. Everybody knows John,
and everybody he's a great guy. Man, we had a lot of fun with John.
John took a picture of my daughter. My daughter was helping us out in one of our presentations at WPPI. He took a picture, like, just said, Lauren, can you come and stand in for a second so I can test my light?
Yeah, the whole presentation was over.
It was over. This thing,
he had more of a crowd once he went click and it popped up on the screen.
It was a true masterpiece. Yeah. Like, we both said, I can't wait to get home to try that Cornicello method, because it was like, wow.
And he's looking at us like, what?
I just snapped the picture, test my light.
You just put your light right here.
So anyway, he's another guy. Master. He's a great guy. Why did we start? Oh, Creative Live. That's why we started talking.
Yeah, we were just talking about, guys. So we got a nice little list here, and some of them we know about, some we don't, and we're gonna save a few of them before we share them.
But Vanessa thinks we're awesome. I'm glad.
Oh,
well, I'm sure she thinks you're awesome. I don't know about me.
Most days. She wasn't saying that like last night when I said, I'm getting up at 5 to drive to Sacramento.
No, that's okay.
But school's out.
It's okay. You don't have to drive back until next Saturday.
That's right. So we have, well, another little bit of exciting news. If you're going to be, I don't know, are they still selling tickets?
I don't know what you're going to ask.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
We will be in Salt Lake City on the 21st to the 23rd.
Whatever that Thursday.
We're going to go see Scott Robert Lim. This guy's a phenomenal teacher. We can't wait to spend time with Scott. Just everything that comes out of his mouth is like gold, right? When he starts talking photography, he's so practical, and he's very, I want to almost say like minimalistic in his approach to photography, and his stuff's stellar. So I cannot wait to spend 2 days.
He's a Sony Pro,
yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. Now the thing about what we're doing is like we take classes too, believe it or not. We don't know everything. No, but continuing education I think is important for everybody.
We saw it pop up and went, we gotta take that class. We have to take it.
Because I actually 7 years ago at WPPI, I met him for the first time. And this was before we were really we were working together, but not like we are now. But like I got this little card from him, and it was an f-stop calculator, right? And it had all these little combinations of stuff depending on when you're shooting, the time of the day, the sun, and it was shutter speed versus f-stop. Like I still carry that in my camera bag. It was that cool. But this guy, like from 9 years ago to now, the transition that he's made has been so good, and just I've learned so much over the years from him.
Yeah.
He's truly a master
and a nice guy.
And super, super, super nice. Some photographers aren't nice. No. Like when we meet them behind the scenes, they're all nice on screen. We're nice all the time. We actually are. But no,
very few photographers that we know that are
on the level of Scott Robert Lim that are just genuine.
Yeah,
will stop and talk to you and just treat you like a human being. So.
Yep. No, great guy. So we're going to be there. We're going to do a special portrait session thanks to our friend Brittany
with
Miss Utah out on the Bonneville Salt Flats. That has been like on my bucket list to shoot on the Bonneville Salt Flats, a portrait session, and we're going to do that one evening with her, and that's going to be fun.
That's going to be beyond fun. Yeah. And then we go right from that as I drop my chopstick. The next 2 days after we get back from Utah, we're headed.
We got 4 weeks
of camp,
junior high and high school camps.
So what are the chopstick guys doing at camp?
So we do pictures, we do photos and video, and we just
we hang out with kids, we mentor kids, we spend time loving on kids, we document it, and you know what? It's the highlight of our year.
That's right,
one of the highlights.
Yeah, each night we put together a little slideshow with some music, the pictures of the day, and
so that's the other thing. It's like we talk about continuing education, right? We're constantly educating ourselves. We believe we don't know it all.
Yep.
What we can learn from others is great, but also we want to be able to give back. And you had alleviated or talked a little bit about one of the projects that you're not going to talk anymore about yet, but about giving back. But same thing with camp. I look at that as time we pour into other people's lives and give back for a month. So it's a long time with junior hires.
It is.
If you've ever done that, it's a long time.
Yep. But last year we were able to do our show from camp. Set it up there in the woods, and I'm sure we'll do that again. And we'll set some photo shoots up. We helped do the launch for Honey Badgers
last year. Our sprinter
year.
Gets our sign. Dan.
He's done a great job for us. So the sign back here, our friend Dan with Signorama had made that for us, and we put in a request for a small, because we changed our set into a smaller one, and one for our golf cart.
That's right.
Not ours, but the golf cart at camp. We want everybody to know that.
But that's where we introduced the Honey Badgers.
We did. So we're looking forward to it. It is a lot of fun, and we can't wait to share with you all the stuff we're going to do there. So they're dropping like flies.
Well, you stood with us for
almost 45 minutes. There you go.
You guys are either bored stiff, crazy, or you're just watching television and you just left that on.
Come back.
But anywho, that's all I think we should take up their time today. But
that's right.
Unless anybody else has anything quick to share now or forever hold your question until next time.
And just, be ready, because we just worked on something today we think is going to be very, very fun.
It was funny. It's just.
It should be funny. If it's not funny, then we just are very humorless, and so
I think it's funny.
We amused ourselves today, and we cannot wait to show you the video.
Yeah, it is basically just a parody video.
Yeah,
and that's what we do sometimes, because we try to. I was going to say we try to be serious. We're not that serious, but
not at all.
Your wife wants you home.
I know. I have still some more work to do, and then I'll be heading off. So,
all right, everybody. Like always, say sushi. All right, take care.
Happy trails.
The long arm.
Happy trails.
Bye.
Bye, Robin.